Cliff, you got me? Yep, all good, okay. Let's go and get the windows up, climate control set, and let's head on out. Let's go do the session here. Yeah, cars in manual mode. Let's get rolling. Alright, so yeah, let's just cruise on out here. We'll go start off the warm-up lap. And then after we do the warm-up, we'll build it up from that point. But again, just worry about precision. Just worry about the driving line, how accurate you are, the speed, don't let that be the main priority. We gotta make sure we're using the brakes in a good manner. Braking as approach support, balancing as we go through the turn. Accelerating at the right time, which when we do start to unwind, that's the time we start to make the acceleration. So let's go ahead and just head straight on out here. We're going to go ahead and get ourselves up there to 4th gear. When we are turning into these corners, from like turn 3 here, from the turn you want to try to treat that steering so that it's one smooth motion. You don't want to be turning and having to pause and have to restart the steering input. You're trying to make just one smooth motion. We're going to go to 4th gear before we get into the chicane here. And then we'll just come on down over here towards the roller coaster next. Finish over here into the bowl, and here's the bowl. We're going to go into 3rd gear. Looking out that driver's side window. Okay, this is a corner when you go through the bowl here. And be patient. So wait down on that throttle. Definitely until you start to unwind the steering wheel there. 5A, this is the corner where it does ask for a little bit more steering input than you would think initially. Get over your backwards next turning. As we're going towards the house, downshifting to 3rd gear. So we shoot a couple more corners to get through. We're going to go through the kink, turn 6, turn 7. And when we come out of turn 1, coming out of turn number 1, that'll be the time that we'll start to pick up that pace. Usually turn 1 is a corner that sneaks up on a lot of drivers. So there's a braking cone when you go down into turn number 1. Let that be the latest you apply the brake pressure. But honestly, too, you do want to sacrifice a little bit of speed on the entry here to turn number 1. That way you're able to get to that apex or 1A. Get to the apex of 1B, which are already a little bit wide right there, Cliff. But then we'll start picking up here at this point. So here we go. Let's work right down the straightaway. We're going to get ourselves up there in 4th gear. Approach here, turn 3. And over to the right, so you're down just a 3rd. Now just let the car get turned. When we unwind, then we speed up the throttle. We can do our upshift. And 4th gear now, as we're coming into the chicane. At the bowl, get it slow, down to the 3rd. And then just let the car get turned. Once we start to unwind, then we accelerate. We'll down to the 3rd gear here in 5 feet. Good, we're going to run down the hill. Just a little bit early on the turn in there going into sure it's talking about turn 6. The last time you turned 6, we did turn in a little bit early. So you know, just be a little more patient on that as we get down through here. But we are going to go ahead and slow that pace down through here. We're going to get ourselves gathered up. So Cliff, what I'll have you do is go ahead and join me over here on the right-hand side here, please. And then you all just keep on working your way on down. And then Cliff, I'll be having you stay behind me here for another lap. So when I say let's get rolling, just follow right with me. Alright, let's get rolling here, Cliff. Let's get rolling. So I should be in third gear here at this point, but still get to the apex right there at 1A. Still need to get those tires nice perfect. Right there at that apex. Fourth gear. Now the last apex on the right, that's a good spot to be braking as you're going into the bowl. It's okay to let the car come up to the middle, but no more than the middle. Also stay off the throttle, let the car work its way down there towards apex, then we can unwind and we can accelerate. Fourth gear before the launch pad. I think that's going to transition to get back to the left, give yourself a good straight line braking zone right here, 5A. Go. Looks good. A little bit of brake pressure at 5B down to the third, just point towards the house. There you go, Cliff. Alright, so coming up on the straightaway, we are going to be making a rotation this time. Again, we are going to be making a rotation here, this time on the straightaway. So Cliff, I'll get you over there to the right-hand side, please. And then you're going to have just one car go by you, which is going to be that blue 153. So UL, come on down the straightaway there. UL, come on down. And then once again, Cliff right behind that blue 153. Alright, so yeah, we'll start to get right back to it here now as we're coming out of 1B. Yep, squeezing on the throttle, we'll head on down that straightaway. Fourth gear. Balance the brakes in a little bit, and then it's a smooth acceleration down the hill here. Nice and steady with the up. Good. Start slowing the car. Let's throw down, shift here to third. Eyes to the left, no more than the middle of the track. It's okay, stay off the throttle so we can help tighten up the radius here. Now unwind, now start to accelerate there. Oh shit, fourth gear. When you are bringing the car back to the left, yeah, you keep accelerating, get backwards to the left-hand side, then we're going to begin slowing down right there. Good. Looks good right there. A little acceleration, which will help you open up the radius, get back to that turning cone here for 5B. Downshift to third gear. Unwind the wheel, squeeze throttle. When it comes to the kink, we can accelerate all the way through the kink, all the way through that. Go. Yeah, get that carburetor towards the left. Gear 7 down to the third. Try looking down this straightaway down towards turn number 1. Remember the brake, keep going. Let that be the latest you get on the brake. The latest. Sacrifice some speed on the entry here to 1A because we definitely need to get to this apex here. And that can help us out the whole rest of the way through this section. That looks pretty good right there, you all. fourth. Let's get ourselves through the kink, right through the kink here. Alright, so again, we're going to be looking back left. But we're going to slow that thing down. We're going to get ourselves gathered up over here on this right-hand side here. Now, for you guys too, I know like when you go to the back of the group, you're kind of more just like, more or less like just chilling out when you're in the back of the group, but you guys also got to remember there's other cars out here, and if we get too far spread out, the other group catches up to you, then it could inhibit their lap. So you know, we got to kind of keep doing that. We don't want to be more or less sandbagging too much when we get to the back, okay? But we're going to go and get back rolling, so here we go. Going to get back rolling here. Got the chicane here again. So yeah, let's go ahead and go through the fourth gear into that chicane. And just balance down through here. Good, and it's that steady acceleration. Steady with that acceleration here. Now, at the ball, third gear, looking over there towards the left-hand side. No more than the middle. Don't fight it. Let the car get turned and stay off the throttle is what's going to help that. Then we're to the launch pad. Fourth gear. Look like we started turning a little early and a little quick on the initial steering input there. I think you noticed it at the beginning when you kind of try to make the adjustment, but you know, again, if it happens, it happens, but you know, try to be consistent lap after lap. But here's where we're doing a straightaway. We're going to be doing a rotation coming up through here. Give you guys a heads up. And we're going to be doing a rotation here on the straightaway. So, let me get you over there to the right-hand side. And then when you move over, it can be a little bit easier. You don't have to like hook a hard right there. So you got to keep on coming down that straight right there, Cliff. Cliff, keep on coming. Keep on coming right there, Cliff. So here we go. We'll get ourselves right back to it. Turn 3. It's just more of a diagonal shot to get back across to there. Good, again, stay off the throttle. Let the car work its way down there towards the apex. Then we unwind, then we accelerate. Bit of throttle right there, help me get back to the next turn in downshift third. Alright, we can do that upshift third to fourth. We'll accelerate past the kink. When the curbing on the right starts, good spot where we can begin slowing here going into turn 6. Give it our left hand side, we'll do the downshift here to third gear here at turn 7 here as well. And again, as we unwind, just squeeze on the throttle. Remember, when you go into turn number 1, sacrifice some speed on the entry here. Again, sacrifice some speed on the entry, because you need to get that apex there at 1/8. If not, it can ruin this whole section here. Yeah, that white line, that's what we don't want to cross over when we do make that approach here into turn 3. So if you don't see my car doing it, your car shouldn't be doing it. So we got the ball here, so go down to third. Keep looking back, left, and again, as we unwind, just squeeze it on the throttle. So 6, we're going to slow the pace. We're going to slow that pace right through here. We'll get ourselves gathered up. So man, Cliff, I was just showing me over here on this right-hand side. And then, well, I'm going to have you head over. Alrighty guys, we're just going to hang tight here for just a moment. So instead of having your foot just rest on the brake, just go ahead and select park. So again, just go ahead and select park. That other group, they were at speed, so I didn't want to pull over, or sorry, I didn't want to get back online whenever they were still at pace there. Okay, so that should be pretty good. So let's do the rotation. So let's get the cars back in manual mode. You'll come on back over here to that left-hand side here, please. And then Cliff, you're going to go right behind that blue 153, blue 153. That white line from the left, we don't have to cross over that. I'm going to just diagonal across there. The white line is our blend line whenever we enter the track. But here you go, y'all. The last apex is on the right. It's a good spot to be braking it. Going to the wall, go down the third. Continue to look left. Got to work way all the way down to this apex. And once again, as we unwind, we'll squeeze in the throttle. You can get a little acceleration there, just to help you get over there back towards that turn in for 5B. And then, yeah, we can get the good run down the hill. Let's go through the scores. Letting it turn as we unwind, then we squeeze back on. Again, the white line, when you approach turn 3, don't cross over that. That's on the left side. So we got the launch pad in, so again, let's go through the fourth. We'll shoot over the launch pad. Let's get the car back towards the left. Nice. Alright, and then again, use it the curving. Going to count. Give me a little acceleration right there. Help me get over your back towards that turn in. Do that down to the third gear. No, I don't mind the wheel. Squeeze on the throttle. Here is we're going to go ahead and begin our cool down lap, and we're going to begin that cool down lap right through here. So for the cool down, you're just going to leave those cars in the higher gear, so you can just leave it in fourth, or you can just put it in fifth. But we're going to go ahead and do a nice good cool down lap right through here. Going thing 2 to 3 right here, it's just diagonal across over here back to the left. Alright, again, we're not really ever crossing over that white line there. The reason why is I don't want you guys to try to just on the straightaway, try to make like a hard left turn on that straightaway there. It's just to get it nice and easy going back over. Plus, we don't want to be having steering input in the braking zone, so if you're trying to get back to the left side, injuries on the brake, that could upset the car, so just keep it more of that diagonal shot across there. So that's the main reason why we want to do that. But what I'll have you guys do is go ahead and keep those recordings on. Again, go ahead and keep those on. When we do get parked back over here at the building, I'll come up to your windows individually and then let you know when to shut those down. So remember, we're just trying to find that consistency lap after lap. You are going to have one more track session to go today. We'll have that. Well, really, you got two driving activities. You got one more track session, and before that track session, you will be doing a launch control exercise. But here on the straightaway, let's go ahead and get those left turn signals on for me, please. We're going to go and exit and head back over here to our parking spot. Okay, so as we're going across the paddock here, let's go ahead and get our windows down. Again, I'm going to cruise back over here to our parking spots. Again, keep the recordings on though. When we get parked over here, I'll come up to your windows individually and then let you know when to shut that all down. We'll just get back here to the upper lot again. And then we'll just go around these cars. Just get right back on the same spots. Again, keep the recordings on. And then I'll be over there to your windows here pretty shortly.